Hey guys, what is happening? Ryan here with Tom Mod Persona, and thank you for tuning in to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about money. More specifically, how to spend your money when it comes to fragrances. Because let's be real, guys, collecting fragrances can be an expensive hobby. So many guys, it's so easy to just go out there with your credit card, you start putting stuff on there. It's like, you get your creeds, you get your niche brands. You don't really even have to worry about paying until later that month, right? And I mean, that probably sounds really good, right? But in today's video, I'm going to go into depth about when you really know you can afford a fragrance, when you should kind of hold off from getting one. I'm going to give you all the specifics to make sure you're financially savvy when it comes to getting fragrances. And actually, this advice applies to anything, so style too, and perhaps in the future I'll make a more style focused video for this topic, but today I'm talking about fragrances. Before I get into the topic though, let me ask you guys, what is your financial approach to buying fragrances? Are you somebody who only buys in cash? Do you use your card more often? When is it justifiable for you to buy a niche fragrance or a more expensive fragrance? Let me know down in the comments. And at some point today, remember to give this one a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Also, real quick, I'll point out the obvious here because you guys can see it, but I have a different backdrop. I was thinking that, for future videos, it might be fun to switch it up, have different backdrop colors, sometimes maybe matching my outfit or contrasting my outfit. At this point, I probably have like, 70 or so videos where I have that tan backdrop, and I just thought it was about time for a change. But without further delay, let's get into the video. First off, should you be using cash to pay for fragrances or credit? Now, there's definitely pluses and disadvantages to using both methods, but either one is completely fine. Obviously, the cash is the safest, kind of most consistent way to get them, and it will kind of help you put your purchase into perspective. But if you can be mature about it when using the card, a card is a completely reasonable way to pay. Me personally, 9 times out of 10, I'm using a credit card when I'm out and I get something like fragrances or something a little bit more expensive. It's because, first off, I don't like carrying around that much cash, and second off, it's just much quicker and easier to just take out your card and pay for it. But the thing is, do I go into the store, or do I, after work, look around and get like 10 different fragrances, put them on my card? No, of course not. And that's because I have a method, and I'm going to tell you what it is. What I'll do at this point is I'm going to show you a particular fragrance that I recently bought and take you through my method. I have 4 key questions that help me decide if I really need the fragrance, right? Or like I said, whatever I'm buying, any sort of purchase this works with. For this video, I'm sticking within the context of fragrances, all right? You guys can check out the questions right here, and let's get into it. All right, so the first one is it useful to me? The second one is, do I need it right now? The third one is, what do I get out of it? And the fourth one is, can I buy it twice with cash? Now, these are all important questions to ask yourself, but for the sake of really helping you understand my method, I'm going to slowly take you through each one and explain them. So I have here Bleu de Chanel Parfum, which I got last October, and I thought this would be a good one to kind of take you through the questions with. So the first one is it useful to me? Now, everybody could say any fragrance is potentially useful, right? Especially if you're apt to wear them. Especially, us guys who are into collecting and stuff. Any fragrance is potentially useful. But I'd ask you to take it one step further, all right? So instead of just saying, is the fragrance, is the perfume itself useful, say, is this particular one, is owning Bleu de Chanel Parfum particularly useful to me? Now, in my case, it was because this was the first full-size bottle I had bought, and I really wanted to do a comparison between this and Sauvage. Plus, I really wanted to wear this one more and test it out so that way when I'm working with clients I can honestly tell them, well, this is how Bleu de Chanel performs, this is how Sauvage performs, to help them make the best informed decision. And just so you know, most people that I've done that with choose Sauvage. But regardless, to me, this one was a useful purchase. So question one, check. Question two, do I need it right now? Now, this one is an interesting question because it speaks to the urgency of the purchase. So when I was thinking about getting this one, compared to when I actually bought it, it was like a span of probably like 6 weeks. Like, I knew I wanted to do a comparison. I knew I wanted Bleu de Chanel, but I wasn't going to spend 150 right away for it. You know what I mean? So I waited actually until it went on sale. It was 15% off. But because of that question, do I need it right now? When I first asked myself that, I was like, no. I just started. I have plenty of other topics I need to go over, plenty of other fragrances. I don't need Bleu de Chanel right now. And, in the long run, it has saved me countless times from making purchases. In fact, the Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette, I really want to get that bottle to do the same thing. However, do I need it now? No, I don't. Question three, what do I get out of it? So this one is similar to question one in the sense that us guys who love fragrances can easily say, oh, well, I'll get a great smelling fragrance and, it'll get me a ton of compliments, attract the ladies, like blah, 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 blah. But again, for this one, I'd ask you to really, really dive into the question. So don't just say, what do I get out of it, thinking it as a fragrance itself, but say, what do I get out of owning Bleu de Chanel Parfum? So for me, what I got out of it was I was able to do a full review. I was able to really spend time getting to know this one and getting all the numbers for it. So now I can honestly tell clients everything there is to know about this one, just like with Sauvage. And I've been able to do probably like 4 or 5 videos around this one because I got it. So I would say I got my money's worth. So those 3 questions are my basic 3 that I think about everything, and really helps me conceptualize if I need a product or not. But question number 4 is like the fail safe of it. So think of it as like, the shield that's preventing you from taking out that card and putting it in the card reader to buy the fragrance, right? Because the other 3, is it useful to me? Do I need it right now? And what do I get out of it? Those can be justified. You could say like, oh, is it useful to me? Yeah, oh, Bleu de Chanel, it's a great fragrance. It's going to be very useful to me. Do I need it right now? Yes, of course. I need it right now, like urgency. What do I get out of it? Oh, I get so much out of it. I'll get so many compliments. You could just BS all those answers, to be completely honest. However, you can't BS question number 4. Question number 4 is there to make you think, all right? So can I buy it twice with cash? Now, let me emphasize 2 important things with that in that question. Twice and with cash, all right? So why buy it twice? Well, because if you can buy it twice, it means that you can actually afford it. So this one right here it's now $155. When I bought it, it was $150. So to buy it twice, it would be $310, something like that, dollars, right? And if I could spend that money to get two of these, then I can afford it, and it's an all right purchase. But I have to think too. I have to be able to use cash for that purchase, because unlike a card, which having a credit card is borrowing. You don't necessarily have the money already, but having cash means you have the money. You have the physical assets to make a purchase, right? So that's why I say, like, can I get it twice with cash? So can I actually afford it? Can I afford to buy the one bottle? But can I afford to buy a second bottle? Not saying you would want to, or not saying it would even make sense. I mean, I would never spend $300 to get two bottles of this. I mean, I have much more important things to spend money on. But regardless, if I wanted to, I could, which means I can afford this. But guys, my method is the reason I actually don't have more niche fragrances, alright? Because they don't even get through two of the questions, right? So I'm thinking about like Creed Aventus, right? So what do I get out of it, or what would I get out of it? Well, I'd be able to review it. I'd be able to honestly talk about it. I'd be able to wear it a little more often than I have in the past. I'd be able to really find out the parameters of that fragrance. So that's a check. Do I need it right now? Absolutely not. Is it useful to me? No, not really. Can I buy it twice with cash? I just finished school last year. I got my master's. So no, I can't, just spend 800 or 850 in cash right now for Creed Aventus. So that's a no-go for me. But a lot of guys, especially on fragrance communities, on groups and stuff I see, they're just making all these crazy purchases, and it could be that they all have really good jobs and they're making a lot of money, but a lot of times I kind of wonder if maybe they're just putting it on their card and they're not really considering it. They're not really thinking about, whether or not they can actually afford it. But now that you guys know my method, you'll be able to start asking yourself and figuring out if you can actually afford the fragrance before you buy it. I should note real quick before I wrap things up that I'm not telling you how to spend your money. You know what I mean? So if you want to put a bunch of niche fragrances or something on your card, that's your prerogative, and you can do that. Personally, would I do that? Do I think that's kind of smart, that it makes sense? No, I don't. And that's why I have the method. If you want to use the method, you can. If you don't, don't. But guys, what do you think of my method overall? Do you think it makes sense to think critically before making a major purchase like a fragrance? Do you have something else that you do, another piece of advice or something that you use to question whether or not you should buy something? Let me know down in the comments. Also, if you haven't yet, give this one a thumbs up. And remember to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you stay up to date with everything I do, because trust me, you want to. Alright guys, but before you leave, remember, when you look and smell your best, you feel your best.